Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is called Are You Under Spiritual Attack? And again, this reading is not to scare anybody or make anybody feel weird. I just want to say that up front. Just for those of you that have been feeling kind of like out of sorts or tired or just not yourself a lot recently, perhaps you are wanting to explore this topic or you're wanting to look at what is happening around you energetically, and that's what I'm here to help you with. So let's go ahead and begin. We'll be getting initials at the end of every pile for those of you that would like to verify your reading, or perhaps there is someone that you think may be bringing some not so great energy into your life. And if that is the case, we will find out using the initial bag at the end of each pile. We have 3 piles to choose from today. We have pile number 1, which is represented by the solar plexus, pile number 2, which is represented by the third eye chakra, and pile number 3, which is represented by the heart chakra. So we have yellow for pile 1, purple for pile 2, and green for pile 3. So dial in to whatever pile is calling your name. Take a deep breath, clear your energy. You can go directly to the description box below to choose your pile. And we are going to go ahead and start with pile number 1. Let's go ahead and begin with pile number 1. I'm going to ring my bell. And let us go ahead and begin. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the solar plexus chakra, and today's reading is called Are You Under Spiritual Attack? As I said in the beginning, this is not to scare anybody or to weird anybody out or anything like that. However, if you have been feeling kind of weird lately, or you've been wondering like if someone around you doesn't have the greatest energy, or just if you've been wanting to check out this topic, pile number 1, we are going to go ahead and get into it. And for those of you that would like to stick around till the end of the reading, we will be doing initials to get even more information and validate your reading at the end. So stick around, my friends, and let's go ahead and begin. For pile number 1, Spirit, can you tell me, is pile number 1 under spiritual attack, please? Is pile number 1? Is pile number 1? All right, pile number 1. Let's go ahead. I know at one point in my life, I was really feeling that way, and I kind of felt like my luck was running out, and I was really feeling that way. And I had, at the time, there were like a lot of fruit flies in my house, and there was like a wasp nest that had been built right around my patio, like not by any human, but by the actual wasps that built the nest. And it really sucked. It was a really tough time. And pile number 1, if you're feeling that you're in a rough spot energetically, I'm here to assist you with that. So let's go ahead and find out for my pile number 1s. We have forming, structure, and solid foundation. We have release, surrender, and purge. We have new vision here. We have the tortoise, okay? Slowly but surely getting ahead. We have career. Wow, so Spirit really wanting to talk to you guys about your work, your career, what you've been working on as far as that is concerned. And we have death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings, okay? So the release or the surrender of a purging of a solid foundation and a structure that you built in your life, pile number 1, that, you know, you've been going with the flow, you've been releasing, you've been surrendering, you've been purging, detoxing, etc. And you have been in a phase of letting go, and you're excited, I feel, because you have new ideas for your life, or you've got new plans that are coming into fruition, but it's just taking a while. It's taking a long time with this tortoise here, with this slowly but surely. We have the water element, release, surrender, and purge, death and water, cleansing, okay? And we have here steps, take your time, no need to rush. Okay, now pile number 1. Here's what I'm gonna say. I don't feel like you're under spiritual attack. I do feel like there could be energy around. You're very sensitive right now. You're going through a cleansing, and I do think with all the water showing up here and the death and the water and everything, cleansing, releasing, spiritual baths, things that you can do like that, warm showers, cleansing your body, your energy, all of that. Like, it's hard work, what you guys have been doing and what you've been working on. And I do feel like there could have been somebody who where you were building your foundation, or you were building your structure for your life or your foundation, it wasn't on the most secure foundation, or it wasn't on the most stable foundation, okay? And there could have been a person that influenced that. But I also feel like that influence is out of your life, pile number 1, with this death card here. Like, whatever it was that was causing, you to have to release, surrender, let go, I feel like it's already happened. And I feel like you're already in this cleansing, release, surrender, purge, like let it all wash away, let my heart open, let my body and my energy expand. There's been tears, there's been pain, there's no doubt been that. And perhaps, there's been some doubt along the way, or feeling a little bit nervous because you have been in situations before where you have built your foundation, whether that's your career or actually where you live, and some of you may have experience with, having issues with the place that you live, or the foundation on the place that you live. Hopefully there's no issues with like flooding or anything like that, because there is a lot of water here, pile number 1, but the purpose of the water is to help you release and wash away anything that's faulty. And in your efforts to rebuild your life, in your efforts to kind of start over and move on with your life, I feel like it's taken a little bit longer than maybe you expected. And it's not that you're not excited. It's not that you're not fired up about something. It's not that you don't have the vision to kind of, and maybe at times you've been really excited about something, but there's been somebody in your life who's been very curmudgeon about it. Like, oh, you can't do that, or that isn't going to work, or that doesn't make sense. Okay. And I just feel like, if things are taking a little bit longer and things are moving kind of slowly, I feel like it is going to be okay, pile number 1. And, the other thing I'm getting is something about tradition and, working in a traditional field, or somebody who wanted you to work in a traditional field or have a traditional career and didn't, and I think maybe at the time, pile number 1, you didn't realize how pivotal this person was going to be. This could have been somebody at work, this could have been somebody in your home, but you had to basically let go of something. And that could, for some of you, that could be letting go of a solid foundation that you had with where you lived. It could have to do with letting go of a solid foundation where at your job, like leaving your job, getting fired, quitting, all of the above. Okay, pile number 1. So I do think, at the time that can seem really scary, just as you were like forming that solid foundation and forming that structure, it kind of got washed away. And some of that could have been because you had different ideas or you had different thought processes about, you know, where you wanted to go with this. And, you know, and even if for those of you that haven't like left your job or you haven't left your home or anything like that, I do feel you can sense that there is something in the air or there is something brewing, where this may be something that ends up happening. Like it's almost like you can sense intuitively that an ending is coming. And Spirit is just reminding you here that there is no need to, you know, take your time with this. Be careful, take your time, you know, one step at a time, pile number one, and no need to rush, okay? And I think you can see if there is a situation that you'd like to release and you'd like to let go of and you'd like to purge, then, and it does have to do with your career, I feel like Spirit is going to give you the steps in order to do that, and is going to give you what you need in order to maintain your security. Because we have the Six of Pentacles here, which represents the moon in Taurus and is about finding stability and finding security. And that is something that perhaps you guys have had to release, a form of stability or security that you once had, but it's opening you up to bolder, brighter, better, new visions, okay? And definitely having to do with your career. Now, again, like I said, let's look at your tarot cards. I don't feel like you're under spiritual attack. I feel like you're shedding an old skin and you're getting ready to make a big step here. And you are slowly but surely, you know, moving along. Now, like I said, if there was someone in your past who was behaved very negatively towards your ideas or behaved very curmudgeonly, negatively, rudely to ideas that you had, visions that you had, like made you question your personal power all the time, solar plexus chakra, I feel like you guys are recovering from that. Like, and it's, the situation is either out the door or it's already done. And so there's an energy of this maybe having been in your life before, and perhaps there was an energy of a felt like an attack or a spiritual attack in the past. But I feel like with your solar plexus chakra here, you've gotten so much more direction on where you want to go in life, and you're really starting to power up, and you're really starting to feel more solid with where you're headed, okay? And really believing in yourself. And you're like, you know what? If it takes time, that's fine. If it takes me some time to find what I need and find what's right for me, that's okay. I have time. I don't have to feel rushed to do something here, okay? And we have the Prince of Wands. We have the, yeah, if there was somebody that was making you doubt yourself or making you question yourself, pile number one, you've already gotten rid of that energy, okay? And it could have been somebody who is very egotistical. I don't know why I'm getting somebody that looks like Ryan Reynolds, or maybe someone had a name that was like RR, or those initials are important, or maybe this person kind of looked like Ryan Reynolds. I don't know, pile number one, you guys tell me, but I just got that name, which I think is really funny. But I also feel like you guys, and this person could have been like egotistical, they could have been immature, you know, competitive towards you. I feel pile number one, competitive towards you. But maybe this person encouraged, like, because they were competitive with you, or because they could have this type of attitude, you really grew as a person because of it. And now you're not going to, you won't stand for it anymore. And I love the Queen of Swords in this deck because it's like a real off with their heads type of an energy. And I do feel like you guys put someone in their place is what I feel, pile number one. And had this person been around you for a little bit longer or infiltrated your life in a more, even more direct way, I think they could have maybe had the power to become somebody like this, bossy, bullying, but I feel like you cut it off at the knees. You're like, nah, no, no thanks, okay? And this person could have been, have Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius in their chart. And you're just, as I always say about the Queen of Swords, you're too swift on your toes to get caught up with them hoes, pile number one. You're like 10 steps ahead. And ever since you made the decision not to listen to this person or, and I feel like this person could have gotten defensive because maybe they thought you were trying to override their ideas or overpower them or something, and they got really defensive and their ego got very bruised because of it or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're just like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I don't really need you for this. I don't really need you to be a part of this. And I can do this on my own, and I'm not really dependent on you for anything, is what I feel like you guys are saying. And you're really recognizing, you're sensing a situation, or you already did sense a situation where you had to cut something off at the knees already, pile number one. So I feel like you've done the tough part already, or you've already been very efficient about taking care of this energy already. We have the Emperor here, and someone really admiring you for the choices you've been making. Ooh, look at you. We have the Emperor and the 10 of Pentacles. Hey now. And this seems like money, 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 okay? And protecting what's important and working hard for what it is that you're trying to achieve. And I do feel like there is somebody who sees, I feel, pile number one, you guys could get courted by another company who would like to have you, or sees what you've done on a project, or sees the, sheer domination that you have accomplished, and sees you as a bright shining star, or sees you as the future of something, or the head of something, or the future of something. And a person who was going to be the future or the head of something is no longer anymore. And you know what this feels like, pile number one? This feels like respect, and you drawing the attention of a very powerful figure who wants to invest in what you're doing, or is very curious about the work that you're doing or the ideas that you have, and they want to invest in you. And they're like, damn, that was good. Or wow, that was a really good idea. And you really pulled that off. And I'm actually like, this is like somebody having a lot of respect for you and showing up with the money and the resources to prove it. And perhaps for some of you, this is you're wanting to attract the right type of customer, okay? Or you're wanting to attract the right type of client or customer. And you're wanting to work with people who are really confident and sure of what they're doing. You want to work with people who put their money where their mouth is. You want to work with people who aren't just, showboating about how successful they are or how good they are at something. You really want to be around people who have accomplished a lot and truly understand about, protecting their legacy, okay? And perhaps certain people like this in the past might have intimidated you, or may have been like, somebody that you might have been like a little bit shy around, or in the past, pile number two, or pile number one, maybe you held yourself back, or you were kind of afraid to step up to the plate in this way and really be the leader, and carpe diem, seize the day. Some of you here may want to be owning your own companies, or you may want to have your own, sole proprietorship, or you may want to start your own thing. And I feel like that's that's really possible. That actually is really, really possible. And actually, pile number one, I feel like your competition's a little scared. Whoever you consider to be your competition, and they may have like more experience than you and more resources than you, but they're looking at you and they're a little bit scared of pile number one, because pile number one is no, like, I mean, pile number one's no idiot. Pile number one is single-handedly like taking control of situations, and you've got really good instincts, pile number one. You've got really good savvy instincts about people and about decision making, and you know, people that maybe even have more experience than you or have more of a, you know, leg up than you in life are looking at you like, whoa, you know, this is a mover and a shaker. This is an up and comer. This is somebody who means business. Okay. Good for you, pile number one. Good for you. And in the past, maybe, like I said, maybe that might have been intimidating, having that level of attention on you, or having that level of, you know, on you like that. But I don't feel like it's intimidating anymore, because you've already dealt with these situations, and you know that slowly but surely is the way to go. And there may be somebody who's wanting to give you advice about something, or is wanting to help you in some way with something you're working on. I don't feel like they have bad intentions. If anything, I feel like this person's protective in a certain way. I don't feel like that person has bad intentions, and I actually think they're quite, you know, something you guys might be a little concerned about, pile number one, is like people ripping off your ideas, because you do have really good ideas, and maybe in the past you felt like people kind of copied you or ripped off your ideas or things like this. But at the same time, I feel like you already squashed a situation that had the potential to maybe get a little bit out of hand. But I feel like you've already squashed that, and people are really noticing. Pile number one has the power and the expertise to really get things done. And if you are sensing that something is over, or that you're about ready to be done with something and move on, then that is the correct you know, step. I do feel like there are people that are watching your moves right now. And I feel like you want to be strategic with the choices you're making, because there are people watching what you're doing, watching your moves, you know, trying to decide if they want to work with you or what they want to do about the situation. And so you may feel some of that heat, pile number one. You may feel a little bit of heat on you because of that, but I actually think it's good heat. I don't really feel like it is bad. And pile number one, maybe at times you feel like it's almost like people wanted you to fail, or they wanted to see you fail. But guess what? You didn't. You're too quick on your toes to get caught up with them hoes, as I said. And you didn't fail, and you're not going to fail. And that's not where your head's at anyway. And there has been a situation where maybe it's been taking up a little bit too much of your focus and attention, and you know that already, and you feel like you're leaving things on the table you shouldn't be, because you've been absorbed in something, okay? But I feel like that is coming to an end, death card here, and you're about ready to shed your skin and call it, okay? And after that, there are important steps to take in order to solidify your position. But pile number one, solidifying your position and solidifying your place in the hierarchy is something that not only do you have the chops, the technical, and the creative abilities to do that, you can and you will do that. And, you know, so, like I said, some people that have a lot more experience than you may actually end up feeling like you're coming for them a little bit, but I think they like that, because it keeps them on their toes too. And I'm not really getting an energy of a spiritual attack or anything. It's more like, if there is somebody like that, it's more like they'll let you know that they want to work with you, or they like what you're doing, or it spurs them on to be more competitive, okay? And you might not even know this, pile number one. Like, you may not even know all of this in the back of your mind, but I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily that you're ruffling feathers or that people are taking note of what you're doing. I think it's actually a good sign, pile number one, okay? So that is what I am getting for you guys. I don't really feel the energy of a spiritual attack for you guys. If it did happen, it was before and it's already closing, okay? And actually, oh, pile number one, I forgot to do initials. We got to do initials for you guys. Let's go ahead and, boy, I almost forgot. I was like, that's it. You guys know what to do. You don't need me anymore. You can just go on your merry way. Let's go ahead and do your initials here. Okay. Initials for pile number one. We have a W. Okay, now this may be, think of when I'm doing initials here, think of this could be the place that you work, the initials of the place you work or a person you work with. We have an A, W-A. All right, that could be Washington State, W-A. We have an H, W-A-H, W-A-H-P, had, okay, dad. Dad had. All right, now that's interesting because for some of you, that father energy with my dad had, D-A-D-H-A-D. Like, did your father have a business, or did your father build a business? Pile number one, did your dad have a business? I feel like they would actually be very proud of you. And maybe at one point it was intimidating, or something about the situation with your father was intimidating, pile number one. But I mean, honestly, I feel like you guys are going above and beyond all this, whatever this was in the past, okay? And that's interesting because the Emperor and the Ten of Pentacles could definitely be, you know, someone who is controlling the money. And the thing is, though, pile number one, some of you could have had a father that was really controlling with money or controlled the money. But at the end of the day, pile number one, you guys are ultra independent and you're fine. Like, I think you're good to go. We have marriage. Wow, interesting. We have an ex. Okay, maybe some of you were with someone in the past who could be very doubtful or naysayer about what it is that you were trying to do, or it was okay. And then we have sex only and marriage and an ex. Oh boy. Okay. Well, I hope there isn't somebody, you know, hopping along the trail that's an ex of yours, because they got to stay back, you know, as we say, stay back, Satan. I'm getting the name Arnold, Donald Arnold. Maybe some of you had a father with that name. Law, L-A-W, like dad, law, like maybe, oh, and the Queen of Swords is very, I mean, she can be very into writing, the law, anything intellectual. So that's fascinating because maybe some of you had a father that was worked in some capacity in law, and Hal, H-A-L. We also have Hall, H-A-L-L, Dad Hall, or Hall Dad. Interesting. We also have here wall. Maybe some of you had a father that put like a wall up a lot of the time. Dad had a wall up, okay, is something that I'm seeing here. Somebody had a wall up. Somebody was into the law. Maybe you guys also do something in the law. But let's see what else we have here. Somebody always having a wall up. And let's see what else. Let's see what else here for pile number one. We have a Y. Happy dad, okay? Wally World. Isn't that short for Walmart? Wally World? But anyway, happy dad, okay? Or happy For those of you where your father's passed and your father had very high expectations for you, or it could be intimidating at times, I feel like your father is very happy with with everything you've done here. We have Leap, Leap. We also have the name Leah, and we have Leap. Leap, Leah. Go for it, Leah. For if somebody's here named Leah, then that is really for you. Also Haley, Haley, Haley or Harley. Maybe someone has a dog with the name Harley. I know some people do. Or someone's father had a Harley. P-E-A, Pia or P. Pearl, I also feel like the name Pearl could be here. Soulmate, okay, we've got a soulmate. We've got the letter K. Lake, Wally, dad and the lake. All right, maybe somebody had a property or investment property by the lake or loved going to the lake. Interesting. We have help dad. Interesting. Maybe some of you would help your father at the lake. It's kind of interesting. And or someone was very dapper or was a very dapper gentleman. Maybe some of you had a father like that. Let's see. We also have kale, K-A-L-E, kale. Maybe somebody really liked kale or really loved eating kale or eating healthy. I'm going to get a couple more here for pile number 1, all right? And couple more here. Let's go ahead and the letter T. Date, late. Someone's late for a date. Maybe an ex who is always late or immature or irresponsible all the time. Pile number 1, or always late. Or maybe you guys had a dad who hated when people were late and was very, exacting about people being on time and keeping their word. Dalt or Dalton could be here. K, Kaylee, K. We have the letter M. My dad is late. That's so funny. Pammy. Okay. And we have lame and tame. Interesting. May, the month of May, is also here too, M-A-Y. Somebody born in the month of May. And let's see, anything else that we want to point out here? Well, there's more things we could point out, pile number 1, but I think we're going to go ahead and alt, A-L-T, like as in alternative or figuring things out your own way. Pile number 1. That is what I am seeing for you guys. Thank you so much, pile number 1. I wish you guys the best and take care, my friends. Let's move on to pile number 2. Okay, pile number 2, let's get after it. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose the third eye chakra, and today's reading is called Are You Under Spiritual Attack? Now, again, this is not meant to be a frightening reading or anything like that, or an upsetting reading, but if you feel like you've been kind of off lately and you're questioning yourself and you're like, what's going on? What's happening with the energy? Let's go ahead and see. For my pile number 2, Spirit, can you show me? Is pile number 2, can you show me, Spirit, is pile number 2 under spiritual attack? Okay. Is pile number 2 under spiritual attack? Is pile number 2? Is pile number 2 under spiritual attack. There we go. Okay. Let's get your cards out. Pile number 2. We've got, the 5 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Okay. Wheel. That's uncomfortable, isn't it? We're doing initials at the end, so stick around pile number 2 as we, at the very end, we'll do the initials, okay? We have here truth and expression. Ooh, well, this is kind of interesting because this feels like somebody who is like, I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but, or don't take this the wrong way, but, or, a person who says things like that to other people and is like, oh, I'm just telling the truth. I'm just, telling you what I see and how I'm feeling or whatever. Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm feeling we have someone like that here. We've got Venus and offer, okay, and we have friendliness. Interesting, okay. And you guys have the third eye chakra, so something about the situation, like somebody could be being really nice or really kind to you or really friendly towards you, very like supportive and helpful and kind and all of that, but something is telling you like something's off, or you just feel a little, perhaps with the 5 of Swords here, you feel a little paranoid or you feel that something is a little off. We have wind chimes, peace and harmony. Claw. Be careful. Do not take risks. Okay. Claw. Well, that's interesting, right? Because all of a sudden you're peaceful, you're harmonious, you're enjoying your day. Oh, what a beautiful breeze. What beautiful trees. Oh, how pretty it is. And look at the flowers, or isn't that nice? And, yet there is something a little, there's something a little rough with this. Be careful, do not take risks, okay? Because somebody is saying or doing something they shouldn't be doing, okay? And let's see what else we have here. We have acceptance. I am learning to accept the things I cannot change, okay? And because here's the thing, pile number 2, I feel like you guys are like very wanting to be very harmonious. You're wanting to have really nice energy. You're wanting to have peace and calm and harmony. But there's just some people in life that no matter how good your intentions are, no matter how, and maybe somebody did apologize to you as well, or said, hey, I'm sorry, but it could have been a backhanded apology, like, hey, I'm sorry, but the only reason I said it is because, or, it could be a backhanded compliment or a backhanded apology or something like that. And it says here, acceptance, I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change. So it's like, I want this situation to be really nice and harmonious and friendly and all of that, but somebody's in the mood to fight, or somebody is in the mood to say things to the other person that are hurtful or cutting or mean or have a bad tone around them, is what I feel. We have Aquarius, and I know it's interesting because the 5 of Swords in tarot represents Venus in Aquarius, and perhaps some of you do have Aquarius in your own chart, or you're dealing with someone that has a lot of Aquarius, but it's like, I'm learning that I want to be friends with this person, and I want this person to be a part of my life, and I want to be friends with them, and I want us to be able, I want to reach out an olive branch, or I want this person to reach an olive branch out to me. And, but it's a bit of a tough situation because it's not really fair, like what the other person is saying. They could be accusing you of something, pile number 2, or telling you you're doing something that you're not doing. And and I feel like on one hand, you've kind of accepted this situation, and perhaps you've been like, no, it is what it is. Like, that's just kind of how they are. And you're like, I know it's not the best situation for me to be around, because it is kind of, there are elements of it that are mean or rude or, you know, very cold or unfeeling or not really, you know, it's like one person is wanting to keep the peace and be kind and be nice and be friends, and the other person is still says that too, but is still kind of behaving in a little bit of a nasty way. Pile number 2. We've got admiring, kind gestures, and polite. Yeah, like somebody is acting very polite or very respectful or friendly, or is being very you know, is being very like to your face. Pile number 2 is being very respectful or kind or nice to you to your face, but at the same time, there's something that's bothering you. I feel pile number 2 psychically about this situation, where I feel like with this claw here is like, be careful, don't take a risk. Kind of like don't take too much of a risk with this person to really invite them into your life too much, because it could basically interrupt your good flow that you have going on. And, you know, this person is being nice to your face or apologizing or being polite towards you, this type of thing. But on the other hand, I feel like it's round and round with this person at times, because they are mean sometimes, and I do feel like they act like they're respectful or kind, but at the end of the day, they're kind of mean. Pile number 2, and I do feel like this situation could result in some type of poisoning of the mind or poisoning of the good harmony and the balance. And you're not the first person that this person's done this to, pile number 2, not by far. Like, you know, especially in groups of friends, or especially like in getting to know them more, you start to find out, geez, you know, they're kind of, sometimes the things they say are really harsh. And they say that they're just expressing their truth. But you know, and I feel you're a very accepting person, pile number 2. Like, you're very accepting of people. You're accepting of people's differences, you know, disabilities, differences, different races, religions, orientations. Like, you're very knowledgeable on those things, I feel, pile number 2. And you're accepting that not everyone in the world, you know, is like where you are with their knowledge on that. And so you're a person who's, you know, willing to take the good with the bad with people. It's not like you demand that. You understand that some people have their failings and their ways of looking at the world. Now, you know, here's the thing is, all of this is fine and well, but where it starts to feel kind of like a psychic attack or a spiritual attack, or it starts to feel more unnerving, is when this person is being like nice to your face, but being rude behind your back or saying things behind your back. And I really feel like you should not tell this person a lot of information, pile number 2. I feel like you should, you know, they may have a way of disarming people with the way they talk or getting to know people, or they seem very open and friendly, but at the same time, there is something about this person that is rubbing you the wrong way, pile number 2, and I would pay attention to that feeling. I would definitely pay attention, okay? And for some of you, this is a new person that you recently started talking to, and for others of you, this is a friend that is, you know, maybe they're not like your best friend, but they are a friend or an acquaintance, okay? For some of you, I feel this is a man that or a guy that you've recently gotten to know, or you recently started talking to. And, you know, and I'm also getting political differences here too. So somebody could have, you know, differences of opinion and belief and things like that, and they're acting like they're really open to where you're coming from, pile number 2, or they're acting like they're open to it, but underneath it they're not, or underneath it they're really like talking shit, you know, or they're underneath it they think like what you think is crap. You know what I mean? Like this type of person, pile number 2. Like they're pretending to be, oh yeah, that's great, or yeah, or whatever, but underneath it, that's not really what they think. And yeah. So, and the problem I feel like sometimes maybe for you guys is that you are very accepting of people. And maybe some of you grew up around, you know, great grandparents, grandparents, etc., who would sometimes say some really like foul things about other genders or diversities or things like that, races, religions, etc. And they would say really ignorant comments, or they would say things that were rude. And it's like, you still love the person, but at the same time, like it really bothered you that they would say these things. And if you're having, here's the thing, is you are like friendly to everyone, you are open to everyone. But I also feel when people do stuff like that, pile number 2, when they act that way, and then you find out that's not really how they think, it does really rub you the wrong way. And it does psychically like set you up for feeling kind of weird about things. And that's what I don't like about it, because for those of you that also grew up in situations like that, in order to keep the peace, you just had to kind of laugh things off or whatever in order to keep the peace or something like that, okay? And I feel like sometimes you guys don't feel like keeping the peace though, because you're like, I don't know if this person like really respects me. They act like they do, but I feel like they don't. And so I do, yeah, the 5 of Pentacles, I told myself before this reading started, if the 5 of Pentacles came up and a couple of other cards too, it does mean that somebody is under like a psychic attack or a spiritual attack, okay? And we have the Fool, okay? So somebody acting like they're open to everything, or they're fine with everything, or they accept everyone. And I also said the Devil too, okay? I that was one of the other cards that I said. I said the 5 of Pentacles, the Devil, and the 9 of Wands. If I see those cards, then before I started this reading, I made a pact with myself, okay? Page of Swords. And here's the thing. Like, there is somebody in your life, pile number 2, who thinks that, like, who sees other people struggling and is like, oh, can I help, or can I do something or whatever? And I also feel like this person's been called out before by someone else, okay? Or they've been called out before and they've said, oh, that isn't me. That's that other person. That's what they believe. I don't believe that. I'm open. I'm totally open. I'm totally accepting, and I'm totally open of people. And I don't believe that. Like, that's not how I believe. And that other situation with that other person is they're a liar, you know, or they weren't telling the truth, or this person's a liar. And this could be somebody that you know that knows someone else you know and is telling you, and you just met this person, or you just, you know, are talking to them and they're like, oh no, that other person's a liar. I never said that. I never did that. I never said that. Okay? No, they did do that, and they did say that, and they want to act like they're coming in and saving the day, or clearing things up, or, you know, there is, and maybe you did try to call out this person, pile number 2. Maybe you did try to tell them, hey, that's not, like, I don't know, like, that isn't right, or, you know, basically confronted them with their lies, the Page of Swords and the Devil. And this person's like, I didn't say that. I didn't do that. Like, somebody else said that. And it's putting you guys in a space of, you know, mental confusion. It's putting you guys, and it's probably reminding you of like old situations in your family situations, perhaps when you got blamed for stuff that you didn't really do, or people would accuse you of doing things that you didn't. I mean, what we're dealing with here is a liar, pile number 2. There is somebody who is a liar, and they keep trying to bounce back into your world and act like nothing happened, the Fool. And the thing is with the Five of Pentacles is you guys are just getting sick of it. And, you know, whatever excuses, oh, well, I just say what's on my mind. I'm that type of person. Or this could also be somebody who says that they're a person that likes to call out injustice, or they like to educate other people about their ignorance. You know what I mean? But actually, they're really mean or rude, or they're really fucked up about it, you know? And they may lie about situations a lot, pile number 2, and be like, oh no, like, you know, I was the one that called that person out. I was the one that told them that they were wrong. I was the one that stood up to that person. And, you know, I also feel like this person makes fun of people when they're not around, or likes to make fun of people when they're not around. And, you know, my question to this person is like, what are you getting out of this? What are you actually getting out of this? And it's almost like they want to get people to a space of like doubting themselves and questioning themselves, Five of Pentacles, so that they can be the one to kind of share the information or give the story. And this is like very wrong, pile number 2. There is somebody like this in your life who acts like they're respectful, or they talk about respect and, you know, how respect is important, and I'll call you out, and I'll say this and I'll say that. And I mean, all along, they're the one that is creating these situations so they can feel good about themselves, or feel like the hero, or feel like they're the one coming in to like save the day. It's messed up. It's really messed up. And the person is a liar, and they don't like being told no. They don't like being given boundaries. They don't like any of that. And they may like actually like it when somebody is struggling or suffering, or they may think that, oh, don't be so upset, I didn't mean that. Or, oh, you know, like very careless and very reckless. I feel like this person could be very careless and reckless with their mouth, and very careless about, you know, the situations and the things that they do, okay? And they put other people in a bad position, and they put people that they know in a worse position than when they knew them before they knew them. So it says here, be careful, do not take risks, okay? Pile number 2, what I'm going to say, and you know what, the Fool is a risk taker. Here's what I'm going to say. Because of this, be careful, don't take risks. If this person is trying to get you to call someone else out, if this person is trying to get you to do something that you don't feel comfortable with, or they want you to go and call a situation out, this person is wrong in this situation. And if you go off and you like do something or take a risk or whatever, it's going to land you in a worse position than when you were before, pile number 2. So what I'm saying to this situation is, don't do it. Don't believe what this person is saying. Don't act on the things that they're asking you to do. Don't say anything. Like, don't go and try to say something or do something, because it's going to be read the wrong way. And people are going to take it the wrong way. And with this type of a person, pile number 2, you have to be real careful, you know, and I would not say anything, do anything, or take any action based on what they say, because they are used to manipulating situations to get what they want. They're used to, like, you know, the mental gymnastics of crafting things the way that people want to hear them, in order so that someone else will take the heat instead of them. Okay. And I wouldn't do it. If you're thinking of posting something on social media, if you're thinking of saying something on behalf of this person, if you're thinking of, you know, any of this stuff, like, do not do it. And it just says here, be careful, do not take a risk, because it will disturb the social peace and the social harmony. So don't do it, you know? And if they're like, can you go check online and see if my boyfriend or girlfriend wrote anything or posted about me, and then come and tell me about it? No, I can't do that for you. Sorry. Like, no, I can't do it. Like, you know, if somebody's wanting you to spy on someone else or find out what's going on in a situation and report back to them, no, don't do any of it. Pile number 2 for sure. This person is, you know, they don't have the right morals or scruples in order to be saying things, okay? We have soulmate here. The thing is this person could be saying like, you're a soulmate, you're my best, you know, I don't know, you're my soulmate, or we have a special connection, or this type of thing. Very manipulative energy. We have X and run. Okay. Some of you could have had an ex that was like this, and you thought they were a soulmate, and it's like, no, yeah, don't base any of your decisions on what this person is telling you, because they're lying. We have the letter I, okay? Yeah, definitely don't take any risks or say anything or make any decisions based off anything this person is telling you. Let's go ahead. If you see your initials or their initials pop up here, or anything I'm resonating with is resonating for you, pile number 2, then go ahead and take it. We have the letter U, I and you. Okay, you and I. You and I are soulmates. No, it's bondage. It's chains. It's not a soulmate energy. You and I are soulmates. No, we're not. We're not. That's not the case. Okay. We have the letter E. We have the letter T. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. Let's see what else here for letters for pile number 2, please. Let's see what else here for letters for pile number 2. Okay. We have the letter N. N. Okay. Net. R. Run. Oh my God. You run, I run. Turn. I turn and run. Okay. Interesting. Run. I run. I return. I-R-E-T-U-R-N. I return. X run. Okay. Telling you I'm this offer, friendship. Let's be friends. Let's talk. Let's be friends. I return. No. You return. I return. No returning. We don't need any returning. Yep, there's an X right there. U-turn. Also, U-turn. Turning around and saying, I didn't mean that. Or somebody does a U-turn. Somebody returns. Somebody makes a different decision. Okay? And some of you could have an X where they are a person that puts people under spiritual attack because of their double speak, their nonsense, the way that they do things, and they're not good. Okay? I bet you return. Do you guys see the letters for that? I-B-E-T, bet you return. Okay? This person saying, oh, I knew you were going to return, or I bet you'll return to me. No, we have the letter burn. We have burn, B-U-R-N. Somebody really burned you in this pile number 2, and it's not a lesson that you're going to forget. I'll tell you that much. It isn't. And you got the lesson big time. And I bet you're going to return is what this person is saying. All right. And maybe they said something like that to you when you guys broke up, or said, oh, you're going to be crawling back to me. I bet you're going to come and return to me, and you can't get away from me, and this type of thing. Showing up, acting like nothing happened, the Fool, while you're going through hell, the 5 of Pentacles. I mean, yeah, it's I burned you. I burned you. Okay, and let's see what else here. Brit, B-R-I-T. Somebody could be Brit or British, or we could have the name Brit or Brittany. You are Brit, okay, or you are British. Maybe someone here is British, but we have Brittany as well, or Brit. Let's see what else. Okay, we have the letter Z. Z. We have children. Wow. Maybe you and this person even talked about children, or they lied about children, or they lied about wanting to have kids, or they did have children, but they lied about it. There is a lot of stuff there, okay? Bringing kids into it. And we have the letter G. G. Get your butt, you know, over here, back here is almost what I feel like it's saying, okay? But no, we have beg, B-E-G, begging, B-E-G-G-I-N-G, begging you. I'm begging you. Get back here. Okay, and interesting. We have the letter H. We have hug. Hug. I hugged you. I hugged you when I saw you. Okay, and you better B-E-T-T-R run. Wow. Wow. Pile number 2. I'm so sorry for those of you that dealt with this. This is a bad situation, you guys. Yeah, we have none, N-U-N. Maybe you guys are like, yeah, I'm going to be a nun after this shit. I am so sorry, pile number 2. This is a tough one for sure. And let's get 2 more letters here. And bruh, B-R-U-H, bruh. Bruh, I ran, okay? You guys are like, I ran, Natalie, I ran. I ran away. And hurt, you know, ran, R-A-N, run, hurt, or hurting while you run, or ran away, hurt. I'm so sorry, pile number 2. I really am sorry about this. This was not good, okay? This person did hurt you. And we have T-R-U-T-H, truth. And again, truth, your truth, or the truth coming up. Run from the truth, okay? Somebody who runs from the truth. Maybe this person accused you of that, pile number 2, but yeah, anyway. Or you feel like this person's always running from the truth. And let's see, anything, R-E-B, like starting the name Rebecca or Becca, I'm also feeling in this reading. And we have the letter D. Okay. Drive. You're driving or someone's driving. I also feel like we have dizzy. I'm dizzy. Okay. You're dizzy or someone's dizzy. Definitely don't take like this person like feeling dizzy or feeling out of sorts. Definitely. Yeah, this one is, don't let this person, like, don't make any bets with this person either. If it's like, I dare you, double dare you to do this thing, or I dare you to go take this risk, or I dare you to try this or try that. Don't do it, pile number 2. Definitely do not do it, okay? And if you're feeling like sick to your tummy or dizzy, definitely lay down and rest, pile number 2. But yeah, I also see runes, like somebody who uses runes for divination purposes. I see that. And, you know, third eye chakra, pile number 2, trust what you're getting about this situation, okay? And trust what you're getting, because your intuition is right, okay? So pile number 2, that is what I am getting for you, my friends. I hope that that reading, well, I don't know. I don't know if I hope that it resonated for you, because that was a little tough there. Pile number 2, and all of a sudden I feel like I have like a little something in my throat. But I just want you to know, pile number 2, I see you. I see what's going on, and hopefully I was able to get you the right advice there. Okay, pile number 2, thank you so much, my friends. Wish you the very best. And do leave a comment if the reading resonated, or let me know how you felt about the reading. Thank you so much, pile number 2, and take care. Let's move on to pile number 3. Okay, let's do it. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the heart chakra, and today's reading is called, Are You Under Spiritual Attack? Now, this reading is not to scare you. It's not to, make you go and feel really weird or anything like that. But if you have been feeling kind of out of sorts, or you've been feeling at a loss recently, and you're like, what is going on? Like, what is happening around me energetically? We are going to go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, pile number 3. So let's go ahead and get into it, and let's find out. Is pile number 3, and stick around, pile number 3, we'll be doing initials at the end to verify your reading, okay? Is pile number 3 under any type of spiritual attack, Spirit? Can you tell me about pile number 3 right now, please? What is going on for pile number 3? Is pile number 3 under any kind of... Pile number 3. I got something about demanding attention, or something demanding your attention, or maybe you feel like your attention's been pulled in a lot of different directions. That's so funny, because there's the Chariot. Talk about getting pulled in different directions with the Chariot. But let us go ahead and let's look at your oracle cards first. Pile number 3. We have cycles, completion, and change. Wow. Okay, we have karma, balance, and justice. Oh boy, you guys have been going through it, pile number 3. There's been a lot. I can see why you came to this reading. And there are like major cycles of change and karma being balanced out in your life right now. And maybe you feel like it hasn't been in your favor, or that it's been very dire and it's been very tough, and you're just losing faith, or you're wondering, like, did I do something wrong? Okay, so let's address this. We have the mind here. Oh boy, like looking at what's been going on, and like, maybe some of you have even tortured yourself over it, and it's like, why have I been experiencing so many towers in my life, and what is going on? And like, I feel maybe it's just been hard understanding how to look at everything that has been happening in your life. Like, just so many endings and so many major things that have happened over the last couple of years that have you guys going, geez, what did I do in a past life, or something like that. And just so you know, pile number 3, like, you are going through some very deep changes right now. And so I think it's kind of normal that your mind is going there and thinking about that, but that doesn't mean that you're like under spiritual attack, but we will see. But maybe your mind you've been really confused, or you've been really nervous or panicked or worried about the cycles and the changes that you see in your life. And maybe some of you have felt like you've been held back too, and you see other people like the Chariot moving on, moving forward, getting on with things in life, or like moving on in their life with no regrets, not looking back at anything. And for you, it's just been a lot more like mentally intense than that, okay? And maybe there's been a lot of overthinking, and there's been a lot of like questioning and things like that. We have shield. You need to defend yourself. Wow. Pile number 3. Okay. We have here eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles. And yeah, and I do think there's been situations in your life where you've like been like, you know what, I need to protect myself now. I need to protect my heart. I need to protect myself. I need to take these threats seriously in my life because they can really change things. And not so much, it says you need to defend yourself, okay? And maybe that's something that you didn't do as much in the past. Like maybe, you know, with this heart chakra here, perhaps you guys like very compassionate, very caring, have seen a lot of people come and go in your life, a lot of grief, a lot of pain, okay? And it's just been tough, you know, and you do feel the need to, and maybe you have felt the need to defend some of the decisions and the choices that you made, but it's like I made the best decisions I could with the information that I had in the moment. And I do feel like you guys with the eagle here, you will triumph over your troubles and obstacles in life. And yeah, and maybe there is a point where you did need to defend yourself and you're tired of defending yourself is the other thing. Maybe you are tired of feeling like everybody else has control over your direction in life or what happens in your life, and you're sick of defending yourself to people that don't seem like they really even care. And you just want to, like eagle energy, you just want to break free from all of this. And yeah, I do think you're going to be triumphing over your troubles and obstacles that you have been going through. Pile number 3, we have empathy. Yeah, that's what I mentioned. I'm open to seeing both sides of the situation. And, you know, and here's the thing, because you guys are open to seeing both sides of a situation, you are very compassionate, you are very caring, but at the same time, maybe that has, especially for my people out there who identify like as empaths, or even as like former codependents, or in the sense where you've cared more about the feelings of the other people around you than like your own feelings, or you've given people like far more leeway than they should get. And perhaps you've also felt that sense of people like abandoning you or leaving you, okay? And it's been very, very painful. And you, because you have the ability to see and feel into many different people's lives and situations, it may actually cause you to overthink sometimes, pile number 3. And it may cause you to like question yourself over and over again. Maybe there's been many times you question yourself, like, am I a good person? Am I doing the right thing? Why do people keep leaving me? Why does this keep happening to me? And maybe there's been this thing of needing to have more compassion for yourself and needing to be more compassionate towards what you've been through. And, you know, sometimes in life, it's like, well, this person's had it so much harder, or like they've gone through so much more. Like, you know, there's always somebody in life who's gone through more than we have. There's always, you know what I mean? And it's certainly not a race to the bottom as far as, you know, hitting rock bottom or hitting, but, you know, with the Chariot, sometimes there can be a race towards something. And, you know, I'd like to think it's a race towards, or movement towards, greater self-mastery, greater self-control. And it's like we can be empathetic, we can be caring for others, but not to the point where it destroys our lives or ourselves, you know? And that is something that I feel you guys, and I do feel you guys have been around like psychic vampires in your lifetime. Some of you probably have been around narcissists, I'm sure, you know, and there has been many times in your life that, you know, you've had to defend yourself, and you've had to walk away from things. And maybe at times you felt like great, another person that left, or I'm worried that I'm going to scare this person off and they're going to leave me. And this type of energy, okay? And pile number 3, it does say like there are certain people that you need to defend yourself around. And the thing is I think at this point in your life, you understand what those situations are. But I also think that more than, and maybe some of you here feel like, you know what, Natalie, for my whole life, I feel like I'm under spiritual attack. It's not like just right now or just in the last 5 minutes or whatever. Like my whole life, I felt like these big, huge karmic events happening to me, and these really deeply disturbing people and situations. And I've just, this whole time I've been sitting here and wondering, how can people be like that? How in the fuck can they actually be like that? Okay. And maybe some of you are thinking like, my own karma is really fucked up. Like my own karma is fucked. And perhaps maybe that's what drew you to this reading, is like, you know, what the hell, did I do something wrong? Did somebody put a weird, you know, hex on me or something like that? And my answer to that, pile number 3, is no. I don't think that that's true. However, I do think you guys have been through some really tough situations in your life where people have taken advantage of your empathy, of your compassion. I do think, you know, there's been times when people have left, or people have left without question, and it feels very abandoning and it feels very maddening. And there's been times like mentally when you're seeing everything that is happening in your life and you just can't believe it, and you're like, what the fuck is this, you know? And I get it, pile number 3, I do. And I think there's something bigger happening here than and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that in this lifetime there's many karmic cycles that you guys are closing out. There's a lot, and maybe it's this feeling of this lifetime has been very heavy, or this has been a very trying cycle for me, and this lifetime has really like made me even question my own sanity at times, because like so many things have happened that my eyes just can't believe it anymore. Like and I'm just not sure. And some of you may be feeling like, am I just like a broken person, or is there just something wrong with me? And no, what I think it is, pile number 3, is I think people who, well, first of all, my belief is, and you don't have to go with me on this if you don't want to, but my belief is that, you know, some old souls, or the older souls, are the ones with the most karma, and the ones that's been around the most and have seen the most and have done the most. And oftentimes with the old souls, it's like instantaneous karma. And maybe that is some of what you've been experiencing in your life. But I also think that perhaps maybe what you've been dealing with is an exaggerated empathic response to people and to situations. And because of it, it's like messed your mind up, and it's caused you a lot of pain, and it's caused you a lot of heartache. And perhaps for some of you, you developed that intensely empathic response to other people because of the pain that you experienced growing up, the adults that failed you, that abandoned you, that left you, growing up around abusive people, abusive situations. And maybe some of you have even felt like, why am I always handling the karma of other people? And why it feels like other people's karma are attaching to me. And I feel like pile number 3, I feel like you're like a spiritual badass, honestly. And I feel like, a lot of people may come to you for healing, or come to you for learning and healing and tying up cycles. And sometimes in life, we are a catalyst for other people experiencing their karma. And, maybe you guys have gone through some experiences than that. And that's why I'm saying this, to me, feels deeper than like, am I under, and pile number 1 and pile number 2 were completely different. Okay. This is a completely different pile number 3. And this is more of a deeper spiritual question that really gets to the heart of compassion, empathy, intuitive, like ability to see situations for what they are, and sometimes having such an exaggerated empathic response, because you can see where other people are hurting or where they have pain. Like, you are sensitive to that, but again, people can't always see to the level that you can see. They don't always see the depth to which you go, pile number 3. And therefore, I wonder if they have the same capacity to hold the same level of empathy for you. And the answer to that in several cases may be no. And that may have resulted in, and I kind of feel like with this cycle's completion and change, that you guys are like, I have to stop doing this. I can't, I can't take on anyone else's karma anymore. I can't let my own mind get so messed up and so wrapped up in this whole thing. I can't I can't keep psyching myself out. I have to move on from this. Okay. And, if somebody wants to question you, pile number 3, on why you had to let go of something or why you had to let go and move on, and it can be kind of lonely too when you're dealing with these big karmic cycles as well. And I can see why maybe it feels scary to move on or to let go. But I also feel like you guys are like the eagle. I'm going to fly like the eagle, and my spirit is going to carry me and set me free. Okay. And those are song lyrics. I believe I'm thinking from the top of my head. And there are people in your life with this shield, like psychic shield, that I do feel like it would be helpful to either not be around them at all or to put up an energetic shield to certain people in your life throughout your life, right? But I feel like what your soul is actually most attached to or attracted to is rising above, like the phoenix, like the eagle, and rising above the situation and going your own way. And with eagles, having 360-degree vision and being able to clearly assess situations and see things for what they're worth. And if they're not worth your time and it's making you feel crazy, it's making you feel unhinged, it's making you feel fucked up, like it's just, too much, then by all means, soar like the eagle and let your spirit lead you and set you free. Okay. And get the hell on out of there. And there's no need to be in that level of misery anymore, and a lot of times in life we learn through suffering and we learn through pain, but I kind of feel like you guys have done so much of that. And when I see this cycle's change completion with the butterfly over her mouth, I feel like there's so much you guys haven't even talked about, and a lot of this has been a deeply internal process. And I feel like if you look back on the last 10 years, pile number 3, look back at the last 10 years of how far you've come, because I feel like you have been in a 10-year cycle of, retribution, activity, pouring your heart out, letting it go, walking away, coming back. Like, it's been all this kind of stuff. It's been very intense and it's been very heavy. It's very plutonic. And, and I do feel like, it's like you've come to the point where it's like, this isn't fair to me anymore. Okay. And this cycle that I've been in and this karma that I've taken on isn't fair to me anymore. And I want to see justice. I want to see change. Okay. And I feel like, with the mind here, it's like, I don't know how to get there. I'm looking at this situation and I can tell it's fucked up, but I don't know how. I want to soar above it and go beyond it, but how? Because there's all these things that are weighing heavy. And so I get it, pile number 3. I do. And I think one of the best things that you can do is be patient and not compare yourself to other people in their journeys, okay? And, I feel like your heart your heart chakra has taken a hit in all of this. There's been a lot of grief. There's been a lot of pain. Yeah, we have the void of course moon and missing. Okay. So it's like, what am I missing? And what am I not seeing? And I also feel like, I can't see why this person wouldn't believe me, or I can't see why this person wouldn't have the emotions that I have, because you have such a strong, compassionate nature, empathic nature. It's like, I can't see why, like, this person seems to be missing that. Okay. And I also feel like a lot of you have been really in your head a lot because you've been missing someone in particular. And it's like, why, and trying to understand, like, what is the karmic balance in this situation and what does represent justice to me. And with the Chariot, it feels like I want to have something to come home to, or what am I coming home to at the end of the day. And when all is said and done, I feel like maybe it has just kind of floored you guys that there are these people that seem to just walk away without caring, or it's not that they don't care, but it's just pile number 3. I feel like you guys are very, very sensitive, and you are really missing someone, and it's okay to admit that to yourself. Like, I am missing someone, and I do feel like something is missing in my life, and I do feel like, kind of scared right now, or I feel upset and emotional. Okay. And I'm trying to keep myself in control and in line, the Chariot, and keep myself going forward every day. But like, I'm afraid and this whole thing of missing home, okay, because the moon does have to do with our home, or where we feel nurtured. And with this void of course moon, feeling very like, when the moon is void of course, a lot of times we feel like tired, we feel like drained, we feel like blah, and the moon in our progress chart can be going into a place where it's like void of course, or it's like the dark before the new moon. And if you're in that kind of phase, then it can feel like life can feel very exhausting. Life can feel very draining. And a lot of astrologers will say, like, don't take on huge new projects during like a void of course moon. Like, rest, relax, chill, take it easy, take care of yourself, take care of your mind, and take care of your mental health is something that I would also say too, that needs to happen here, because I feel like pile number 3, it may be more of what's happening within your own mind rather than people like psychically attacking you. Now, again, you may have had times when you were younger or when you were a child when people were doing stuff like that. But I feel like right now it's mainly your relationship with your own mind and where you're at within yourself and in your own head. And if you feel like it's been a lot lately, and again, signs of spiritual attack can be feeling drained, feeling mentally unstable, feeling, and don't get me wrong, pile number 3, if you have a situation in your life where you are feeling drained, you are feeling sick, you are feeling tired, and you have been having total empathy and giving what you have to another person, when what you really need to do is nurture yourself and take care of you in this moment, then by all means, put up that shield and soar like the eagle away from this situation. And, there's no need to hang around where you're like unwanted or unwelcome. There's no need to like mentally torture yourself, and it's like, somebody that you thought really cared, or somebody that you thought really was invested in you. You may be missing this person, or you may just be questioning the cycles in your life and thinking about why is this always happening? Why am I always going through it? You know, and I get it. I totally get it. And look at this, divine feminine, beautiful, stunning. Okay. And, yeah, stunning, psychic, beautiful, caring, compassionate, lovely, divine, goddess in her own right, okay? The divine feminine. And the divine feminine needs to shield herself, because the divine feminine is special. Like the divine feminine, that energy isn't like the energy that you give to other people is very important. Pile number 3. It's very loving. It's very sweet. It's very caring. Very nurturing, but at times maybe it feels like you can't give that to yourself, or it's too hard to give that to yourself. And you know, and I do feel like there is some vulnerability here, and I feel like in the past you guys have been with people that have taken advantage of your vulnerability, and especially romantically. And they haven't protected you, and it's like you've had to protect yourself. And I do think you are going to soar over like an eagle, triumph over your troubles and obstacles, and you will move on from this. And maybe even focusing on like the eagle animal totem would be very good for you guys right now, because eagle energy is very shrewd. And it's very scorpionic. In fact, it's one of the forms of Scorpio. And it is very like shrewd energy and seeing things from all different points of view. Now, again, we have this empathy card. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation, or I'm open to seeing things from multiple views. Now, here's one thing I feel like about people that are really like dialed in on deeper levels in humanity. You can't just turn it off. You know, it doesn't work that way. Like I've tried to do it too. It's impossible. You can't just go, oh, I'm turning it off and never like feel, because if you're a deeply feeling person, you're gonna feel it, you know. But the question of the matter is how do I feel all the feels and see everything and let it run through me, understand that it's not permanent, that it's all temporary? How do I do that while at the same time keeping discernment, keeping eagle vision, staying above things and observing? Okay, the eagle energy is very much of an observer type of energy. Okay, how do I stay above the situation and observe what's happening instead of getting so entrenched with it that it really just starts fucking with me, you know? And that has to do with, you know, energy management and our own energy management, you know? And sometimes that is like really the most important thing, is developing our own inner energy management, you know? And that I feel like is something coming up in your reading. We have 3 of Cups. I love that. Support from friends. 7 of Swords. Who can I depend on, right? Who can I trust to really have my back and really be there for me and really show up in those moments when I'm feeling weak or vulnerable or things like that? For those of you that do have strong friendships, lean on your friends. Lean on the people that you know you can count on. Family members, friendships, like people, you know, for my women out there, other women that you know that support you, okay, that are like you, that have been where you've been, okay, and have your back and are wanting to celebrate the closing of a cycle with you guys. And I feel like ritual is very important for pile number 3. If there's a ritual, or there's some ritual you'd like to do with your friends or one person that you really trust, like, you know, to kind of release and let go. And I mean, this is the 3 of Cups is a very pleasant and calm energy, okay? And it is about returning to that space of feeling mentally at ease, emotionally, mentally, spiritually at ease. because there is other people around you. And for some of you, pile number 3, this is a masculine energy or a male energy around you that is very confused right now about their life, is very confused about the direction of their life, is very, disoriented and disjointed with the way that they're approaching their life right now, and isn't really sure of the decisions they're making or the direction that they're going in. And the trick for you in this situation is to stay in your own energy and stay in your own safety zone where you feel protected, valued, seen, appreciated. And if this person is off doing whatever or trying to figure themselves out, that's fine. But you're resting easy within. We have the Page of Cups, and we have, here's the thing. I feel like you guys really just want this person to listen to you. And the thing is that, and see where you're coming from too. And you really want this person to hear you out. I feel pile number 3. And I do feel like the last, interaction or whatever could have been a little bit uneasy. I don't know where things are headed. I don't know where things are going. And how do I stay emotionally balanced within myself with this person kind of off the rails a little bit? Okay. And I do feel like this person, Page of Cups, is going to get their feelings sorted out and is going to come back and show back up. But the problem is that you've already gone, or you've already decided that's enough, or you've already, Chariot physically left, or, 6 of Swords, you physically already have left. And for you, it feels like leaving on a sad note or leaving on a stormy note, but yet this person still has feelings for you, or still is having certain feelings for you, okay? And it's almost like they need to be on their own, and they need to be to figure things out in their own time. And whether you want to wait for that or not is up to you, but I feel like you guys are to this person, that they have feelings for you, or that they care about you, but there's this kind of sinking feeling that it's not enough, or that it's too late, and pile number 3, I am so sorry for what you've been going through, and it has been painful, and maybe it is time to shield yourself. Again, I feel like there is love there, or there is friendship there with this person. I don't think that they are trying to spiritually attack you or anything, or whatever. I think they do care, but I also think they are not that committed either, and I know you're missing someone, and I know you care about them too, and I know the situation's driving you crazy, but you may need some distance, with the Chariot, the 6 of Swords, and this Eagle here. You may need to shield yourself from this situation for a while and get some distance from it, pile number 3, so you can really restore yourself, okay, is what I'm feeling. You can really restore and work on yourself. And I feel like you guys are just sick of people making promises they can't keep, and then showing up and being no, I still want to talk, or I still like you, or I still have feelings. And it's just very inconsistent, pile number 3, and it is hurting you. And I do think you do need to defend yourself, stand up for yourself, and and move on if necessary with the Chariot, because there's no reason to have to suffer that much, you know, like take care of your heart, take care of you and your heart and your mind. Pile number 3. Now let me go ahead and get some letters for you guys here, okay? Let's get some letters for pile number 3. We have the letter T. We have X, run. Yeah, like somebody promising a beautiful, wonderful future. I have feelings, but then, you know, it's the same old story. Yeah, we have rat, R-A-T, rat. Okay, and then we have soulmate. Okay, soulmate, X, run, but we also have a rat. A rat. And we also could have the name Tara or Tara here as well. The goddess, I think there's a goddess Tara or Tara, isn't there? Goddess Tara. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see what else we have here. We have a Q. Okay. We have an X. This person really wondering where you're at or what you're doing or what you're up to. But they get distracted, you know, they easily get distracted. We have tan. Tang, tan gang, like people who are tan. Yeah, look at the divine feminine. She looks like not Caucasian, okay? The tan gang, the people who are tan. Let's see what else here. And let's see what else we have here. We have E. Okay, near to you, okay? And we have Renee, or the name Renee here. Ray, or the name Ray or Renee. We have K. We also have a B. B for B-E-A, like B, the name B. We could also have the name Ben, B-E-N. Okay, and let's get some more letters. Ben remembered, or somebody remembered something here. Let's see what else we have. Beat, B-E-A-T. Someone who makes music or makes beats. We have the letter C, can't. Can't. Can and can't. Beck, B-E-C-K. Becca, B-E-C-C-A. You know, there's something here about I can't be friends. Like either we're going to be lovers or, yeah, and that's the 3 of Cups and the 7 of Swords. It's too hard to be friends. It's like this person doesn't just want to be friends with you. They want to be more than friends with you. But, you know, it's too hard to keep it separate, or it's too hard to just be friends. But at the same time, like, you know, is it too little too late? 6 of Swords, you know. We have car. We also have care. Care, okay? Car care, or someone caring about their car, or just caring a lot in general. And Karen, the name Karen is also there. Karen. We have marriage. Wow, ex run. Soulmate, ex marriage. Okay, maybe you and an ex did talk about marriage together. And fret, or like worrying about things. Okay, that's really what I was seeing here too. And we have D, putting someone on red, right? Like someone sends a message, but they're on red, R-E-A-D, red. Also red, R-E-D, the color red. We have cake or cakes here. Baked. All right, somebody baked something or made something for the other person. We have feed. Again, with this void of course moon, and this moon showing up, like maybe somebody showing the way they care by baking or feeding someone, or giving them food or baked goods, or maybe someone's just baked, you know what I mean? We have bead or beads, someone who works with beads. We also have bread, baked bread, okay? The word baked bread is here. Maybe somebody made bread for the other person, or, you know, breaking bread is a term of like eating and sharing a meal or asking the other person out, that type of thing. And yeah. Okay, Darren, D-A-R-R-E-N, Darren, or the name Darren is showing up here. Okay, Tanner, T-A-N-N-E-R, Darren, Tanner, those names I'm seeing here for sure. Rate, R-A-T-E, rate, or rated, rated R. A movie that's rated R. Let's see. We have nerd, N-E-R-D, like nerds, or nerding out about things. Watching X-rated movies or watching R-rated movies together. And feeding people things. But anyway, pile number 3, that is what I am getting for you, my friends. Do let me know if that reading resonated for you. Thank you so much for being here, pile number 3, and wish you the very best. Take care.